this is Aisha of Aisha Designed It, and happy Sunday. I hope that you all have an amazing day. Well, today I am back with another video, and if you did not see my last video where I showed you how to clean your mats to get the rhinestone dots off your mat, then I will be linking that. I will be leaving that video right here in the card section, so make sure you go and check it out, because I told you I will be coming back to show you a video of a rhinestone video that I designed, and I'm going to be showing you. Okay, well, today the design that I'm going to be showing you, I am going to be using puff vinyl and rhinestones together. All right, I'm going to be showing you how you can group the puff vinyl part. Now, you don't have to use puff vinyl. That's what I'm using. You can use actual HTV, which is heat transfer vinyl, in any color you want, but I'm going to be using the puff vinyl. And also you can use whatever color that you want. And I'm going to be using cutting the other part out in rhinestones. So I'm going to be using rhinestones also. So I'm going to show you how you all can do it. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the video. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Every material that I will be using will be linked in the description box, so make sure you go and check it out. All right, so let me just tell you first about the HTV that I'm going to, the puff vinyl that I'm going to be using. I use the ieashadesignedit brand 3D puff HTV, and I got this from Amazon. So again, the links will be in the description box below. The color that I'm using for the puff vinyl is going to be red. I'm going to be using my black gilding shirt. You know, I love gilding. I had to go back to my gilding shirt because I love me some gilding. So I'm going to be using the black gilding shirt. I'm going to be using the red puff vinyl, and I'm going to be using my rhinestones. I think I'm going to be using the crystal rhinestone. I think that's the name of it. I'm trying to see y'all. Yeah, the Crystal SS10 Rhinestone. And you know I use the Beasley brand. Everything will be linked in the description box below. All right, so let's go ahead and get into this video. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. All right, everyone. So I am in Cricut Design Space. So what I'm going to do, I am going to go to the right-hand side right here where it says New Project. I am going to click on it. So remember, we're working in Cricut Design Space. Now, my design, I did design it in Silhouette Studio. You will have to have the business edition, but today I am going to be showing you how you can take this design and you can group the two vinyls, the one that you're going to cut with HTV together, and you can also cut the rhinestones, the ones that you're going to do in rhinestones. You can cut those out also. So I'm going to be showing you that. And what we're going to do next, we're going to go ahead and drop it into Cricut Design Space. You know, I love the drag and drop feature. Okay, now some people may go in there, browse, and find it, but I'm going to drag and drop mine. So come over here to the left hand side, go down to where you see upload. Okay, click on upload. Okay, so now I am up in Cricut Design Space where it says upload. So I already have the design right here, but I'm going to show you how to upload it. So go right here to where it says upload image. I'm going to click it. It says drag and drop file here, or you can browse. All right, remember, I love to drag and drop. So I'm just going to take it down a little bit. Come here, grab my design because it's here on my desktop. I'm going to take it and I'm going to drag it and I'm going to drop it. So now I'm going to enlarge it back. This is my design right here. It's already highlighted in green. So now what I'm going to do, come over to the right hand side and click upload. All right, so once you click upload, you will see that it's right here. This is the one that we just did together. You're going to click on it. You're going to come over to the right hand side and click add to canvas. So click it. All right, and as you see, it came up right here. Now, one thing that I taught you all before when I was doing the rhinestone, when we did the very first rhinestone template, when I showed it to you in Silhouette Studio, remember, you have to write down the measurements. The measurements over in Silhouette Studio when you first do your rhinestones, okay? So this is the same way. You have to write down your measurements. So I have my measurements written down because as you see, when I brought the design, this right here, over into Cricut Design Space, it did not come up with the correct measurements. Okay, so let's go in a little closer. As you see, let me see if I can, okay. All right, so as you see, the measurements are not correct. The size and the width and the height is not correct. So what I have to do is go and find where I wrote it down at. Always write it down so that you can come back over into Cricut Design Space. If it does like it did this time, it did not come in correctly, you will have the measurements, okay? Because you need those measurements, because if you don't put the correct measurements in, then your SS10 rhinestones will not fit, okay? So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to unlock it, and I'm going to go ahead and put my measurements in. So the measurements for this design is, the width is 10.608. So let me put in 10, let me back up a little bit, 10.608, okay? 10.608. And the height is, let me go ahead and highlight this. The height is 11.308. So 11.308. All right, so as you see how it changed the size, so now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to lock it. All right, so once I locked it, you see it went to the size that it is supposed to be on. Now I'm going to zoom back in here at the top. As you see, it is the correct size. The width is 10.608. The height is 11.308, okay? So now we're going to come all the way back. I'm going to zoom back out. And we're going to start looking at the actual design. So like I said, this is, you know, I'm always thinking of different things. And I love, you know, the sayings, the scriptures, and Christian sayings and things like that. So I went in here and put, with God, all things are possible. And we all know that is so true. So what I'm going to do, as you see, this is one design, one image, okay? So if I print it out like this, it's going to print out with this showing, this part is going to be HTV, this part is going to be HTV, because as you see, I did not do it where it could be rhinestones. So if I print it out like this, it's not really going to work, because I have to have it printed out where I can use the HTV on one and the rhinestones on the other. So what I need to do in order to get this to where I can cut this out, this part, the width and all things are in HTV or puff vinyl is what I'm going to be using. I have to ungroup it. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to right click. I'm going to go right here to where it says ungroup. So we're going to press it. All right, so once you press on ungroup, you see that it's separate now. Each of these words are separate. As you see, the first time they were all one in one design. All right, so now what I need to do, I need to group it to the point where I can use the puff vinyl for the width and the all things are. Remember, that's what I want the puff to be, the width and the all things are. Click on your width. Okay, left click on it. Then you will come down to where it says all things are. You will hold down your shift key and click on all things are. Okay, so once you do that, you will see group right there. Do you see where it says group? Now all you will have to do is click that. Click where you see group. Once you do the width, all things are, and group it together, make sure you come over here to the right hand side and you have to attach it. So that when you put it all together, you just come and press attach. So what attaching it does, it just, when you get ready to take it over to your mat, it will all be on one, you know, to be like in one, like this right here. It won't be separate. It won't be the width and the all things are. It'll be one image or one design, just like this. You see how I'm moving it? So now what I'm going to do, I am going to go over here and I'm going to attach the God and possible. Now, you do not have to do this. It's totally up to you. You can leave it separate. That's completely up to you on how you want to do it. But I'm going to attach mine. So what I'm going to do, because I can cut it. On my rhinestone flock, I can cut in between the God and the possible, and I can use God by itself, and I can use possible by itself. So now what I'm going to do the same way that I did at the top. I'm going to take it. I am going to hold down the I'm going to highlight God. I'm going to left click it, hold it down. Then I'm going to go and hold down my shift key, and then I'm going to click on the possible to group it together. Now, as you see, I have grouped it together. It is one design or one image. Okay. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back over to the right hand side, and I'm going to attach it. Therefore, when it come over into make it, let me show you what I'm talking about attaching it. So I'm going to go here to make it. So as you see, with all things are, it's one, because I attached it. Now, as you see, the God and the God is there, and the possible, the God is here on the purple, and the possible is on the pink. So let me show you what happens when I attach it. Let me go here to cancel, because I don't want to print it like that. So I'm going to come down. Remember, I have already grouped it. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to come over here. I'm going to click on where you see I'm going to find God. I'm going to click on God. Then I'm going to click on possible. So you click on God, then you hold your shift key down and you click on possible. Now what you see down here at the very bottom, you see slice, combine, attach, and flatten. We want to attach it. We want to attach it. So I'm going to click attach. And see, it changes the color, because you remember this color was purple. This color was pink. It changed it to purple because it attached it. But that's okay, because when I print this out, I can use whatever color and rhinestones that I want to use. So that doesn't matter. So now let me show you what happened. Let me go right here to the right hand side, click on make, come back down, and now you see it is one image or one design. Okay, so that's what I wanted. Remember, before I attached it, it was two separate ones on two separate mats. So let me come over here to the left hand side and show you what I have. So I have God and possible on one mat, and I have with all things are on the other mat, and it's attached also. So this is what I want, because once I print it out, as you see right through here, I left a space so that I can cut it. So I can use the width whenever I want to. I can use the all things whenever I want to. Go back to God. I can cut right through here. I can use the God when I want to, and I can use the possible when I want to. Or I can use it together as it is, but I'm going to cut mine. So what I want to do, this is mat number 1. So what I want to do, I want to go ahead and first I'm going to go to mat number 2. I'm going to print out with all things are first, and I'm going to be using my puff vinyl. I've already showed you I use the ieashadesignedit brand puff vinyl, and I'm going to be using this beautiful red. I don't think I showed you the red, but this is the color right here that I'm going to be using. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my mat, and I'm going to put my puff vinyl down on my mat, and then I'm going to show you how to cut it on the Cricut machine. I'm going to go around to my Cricut. I'm going to show you how to cut it on your Cricut machine. So with puff vinyl, the shiny side, this side goes down. The side with the red goes down. And you have to make sure that you mirror your design. So right here you see I'm using a 12 by 12 mat. So I'm going to click on mirror, because you have to mirror your image, and as you see, once you mirror your image, it turns around. It's, let me show you what I'm talking about. So when the mirror is off, it looks like this. It's facing you. But when the mirror is on, it faces the other way. So this is the way that I want it. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to come down to where it says continue. So as you see, I have all my material already set here. I think I used the everyday iron-on with this puff vinyl. This rhinestone glitter iron-on. We're going to use the everyday iron-on. And I'm going to click on more. So now what you need to do, if you cut flock with your machine, the last time, if you did it with me when we did the love t-shirt, make sure you go and take out your blade and clean your blade first, because you don't want any flock or any of that flock material in your blade, because you want to make sure that it's sharp. Remember I told you to use some aluminum foil to sharpen your blades, or either just purchase some more. I put a link to some really great blades that I purchased off of Amazon, very reasonable. You can also just purchase those if you don't want to sharpen it with aluminum foil. Like I said, I had to replace mine before, so very affordable blades that I have linked. But if you want to, you can use aluminum foil, but make sure you clean your blade and get any of that flock off, okay? So that's what I have to go and do. And then I'm going to show you what you do after that. So let me show you how to put your puff on your mat. I'm going to be showing you how to put your puff on your mat. This is my mat. As you see, it's sticky. So you want to make sure that your mat is sticky. Okay. So now I'm going to take my puff vinyl and I'm going to turn it face down. Just like so. And you just place it in the area where you want it to go. And that's it. So now we're going to go over here to my Cricut Explorer Air. I'm going to show you, well, I'm going to turn it, let's see. I think I'm going to turn it the other way. I'm going to turn it this way. You can turn it either way, but I'm going to do mine this way. All right, so I'm here at my Cricut Explorer Air. And so what I was telling you about, make sure you check your blade. So we're going to check mine. I'm going to pull it out. And see, this is what I was talking about. As you see here. Let's see if it'll focus. You see how that blade looks? How it have the, okay. You see how it has all that flock up in there? I need to clean that out. And I need to make sure that my blade is sharp so that it will cut this puff. So now I'm going to go ahead and clean this out. And we're going to go ahead and put it back in so that we can go ahead and cut this out. So here it is once I cleaned it off. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take it, pop it back in there. All right, and that's going to be in B. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my puff vinyl and just place it in this area so that it will feed into my Cricut. So as you see, this is the flashing arrow. I'm going to press it. It's going to pull it in. Remember to mirror your design. The flashing C is ready, so that means it's ready to print. So I'm going to press it. It's going to pull it in, and it's ready to print, to cut this puff. So as you see, with all things have finished printing on my Cricut machine. So now what I'm going to do, I am just going to go here and say cancel. So now we are going to go ahead and print out the first one, which is God Impossible. So as you see, once I click on it, it come up here. So we're going to go back over. We're going to be using a 12 by 12 mat. Remember, when it comes to rhinestones, we do not mirror our image. So now what I'm going to do is take my flock. I used the pink flock that I showed you before. I'm going to show you again. And I'm just going to put it on my mat. So as you see, my puff is finished printing. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull it out. Now I'm going to take this off, and this is the same mat that I'm going to be using to place my rhinestone flock on. So here's my rhinestone flock again, and here's the mat that I use. Just going to take my flock, and just place it down on my mat, just like this. So to come back over into Cricut Design Space, now we're going to go ahead and set it up so that we can print out, we can cut out our flock. So I already have it here. Click on Rhinestone Flock. I always set my pressure on more. All right, we've already cleaned out our blade. You can always check it again. Then we're going to go over here to the Cricut. We're going to load the mat and we're going to get to printing. Let's go. So we're back. I'm just going to check my blade again just to make sure it looks good. It looks pretty good. We're going to put it back in. Always check your blade. And I'm going to take my rhinestone flock, place it in just like this. Always make sure your dial is set at custom. Okay, and make sure everything is down. This is a pretty thick flock, so make sure it's down on your mat pretty good. Now what I'm going to do, press this flashing arrow button. It pulls it in. Now it's ready to be printed or cut. And now it's going to go ahead and cut out my rhinestone template for me. Okay, you see that little circle right there? As you see, it's go ahead and cutting it out. So we're going to come back once it's finished. All right, everyone. So I would recommend that everyone get one of these sample shirts or make one of these sample shirts, because this is one that I did. It's been some months ago when I started working with the puff vinyl. I think I did a short or some type of video showing you how I did this. It's been maybe about 3 months now, maybe longer than that. But I will see if I can find the video and post it in the card section for you. But just take a little piece of your puff vinyl and just put it on an old shirt and just set it at different temperatures just to see what works best. Because as you see, this one here is like a burgundy color. I did it at 300 for 5 seconds, and that's the way it turned out. So all of them turned out different ways at different temperatures. Now I'm going to be using the red puff today, and this is the one that I did not too long ago. It is I set it at 275 for 10 seconds, and as you see how it came out, and I like it. It came out really good. So I would recommend that everyone who is planning to do any puff vinyl or learn about puff vinyl to practice, and just make you this sample shirt so that you will have it on hand when you get ready to get started. So here is my red puff vinyl, how it looks once I weeded it and cut it out. So now all I have to do is put it on my shirt. And here is my rhinestone flock, my template. So all I have to do is, like I showed you before, is just take everything out. Of course, I have to go back through getting these little, I call them rhinestone dots, off of my mat. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to go and get everything out of here. And I'm going to show you how everything looks once I finish. All right, everyone. So now I am about to go ahead and show you how I'm going to be doing my rhinestone template. Remember, I am doing the width. All things are in puff vinyl. Let me see. All right, so I'm doing the width. I'm doing the width. All things are in red vinyl, puff vinyl, and I'm doing the rhinestone with God and Possible. All right, so I'm going to be using, I thought I had enough actual crystal, just the regular crystals was what I'm going to use, but I don't. So I'm going to be using the crystal AB. They're super cute. Also, I'm going to be using that for the God and the Possible. You can choose whatever color you want to. This template will be in my Etsy shop. Now make sure you go and check out my love template. It is already uploaded in my Etsy shop. Okay, so I'm going to be putting this in my Etsy shop. It should be in my shop by Monday or Tuesday of next week. Okay, today is Sunday, so it should be in there tomorrow, no later than Tuesday, for you to go ahead and grab. All right, so remember, you can do whatever color you want to. These are the colors that I'm choosing. So if you have any questions, let me know. Oh, and let me show you this shirt here. Now, I did not put a video out for this shirt right here, but my high school, they had a class reunion, and I made this shirt. My husband and I, we're from the same hometown. So I made this shirt for us. This has been, let me see, when was this? Back in May. I think homecoming was in April or May. May, June, July, August. Yeah, I think it was like May, sometime like that. But it's been months ago since I made this shirt. And I am a Panther. So I did this. And this is puff vinyl with another vinyl underneath. And I just did just a regular HTV on my sleeve, and on the back it has my the year that I graduated. So I just wanted to show you this shirt. This is another one that I did. So I have been using the puff. Sometimes I don't do videos on it, but today I am. So I'm trying to pull you up some so that you can see what I'm doing. Okay. All right, now you can see this. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to be using this Crystal AB. Again, this is the SS10 that I'm going to be using. So I'm just going to spread a good bit out on this. You can always save your rhinestones if you don't use everything. So what you do is just take it and go in a circular motion just to get all the rhinestones inside of the circles or the rhinestone holes, okay? And y'all, I have fallen in love with rhinestone t-shirts. They're so beautiful. And you can do these in any color that you choose. Remember, always go with your own mind. We all have, you know, we all are individuals. We all have different ways of doing things. So make sure you go with what you like. Remember, you don't always have to follow other people. Go with what you like, because all of our tastes are different. I might like something you don't like. You may like something I don't like, but that's okay. That is okay. And always set yourself apart from other people, because like I told you, I'm always thinking about different things that I can do. And I know some designs and things, or some, you know, people use them all the time, but think outside the box sometime. Think outside the box and just make sure that, you know, what you're doing is not trademarked. Make sure it's not you know, copyright or any of that, because you don't want to get in trouble. But a lot of things that you think of, you are able to do it. You are able to do it, okay? All right, everyone, so I am done with God. And so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take my rhinestones and just place them here on my mat, as you see me doing right here. And all I'm going to do is just use these same ones to go on the possible. But first, let me slide these over a little bit. Okay. First, I'm going to go in. First, I'm going to go in and make sure all of my rhinestones are in. First of all, are in the where they're supposed to be. Make sure there's no doubles. Make sure everything is looking good. All right. See, I see a double right here, so I'm just going to remove that and just place that one on in there. There's another double. So just always make sure that once you finish putting your rhinestones in, you go back over it and you look. There's one that need one. Okay, so everything looks pretty good. So now what I'm going to do, remember I told you that you can reuse your mask. That this right here. Well, last time when I did it with the love template that I made, my mask actually, some kind of way it got caught. And I, you know, a lot of times when it catches onto, I think it got caught onto the back of this part here, the back side. a lot of times you just have to just go ahead and throw it away. That's why I try to make sure I be careful when I remove it from this paper backing part here. Okay, so all right. So here we go. I'm just going to look over it one more time, make sure everything looks pretty good. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to take it. Remember, I told you to do it like a taco and drop it. Okay, so, all right, try to make sure that you don't want anything on there. So now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to just look back over it, take it, and drop it. Because again, once you drop it, you have to pretty much commit to it. I mean, you still can fix it, but you have to, okay, there it is. So I let it go. I'm just going to take my finger, my whole hand, and just go across it. Fix any of the ones that came up a little bit. Now you can really look through it and make sure you did not miss any, okay? So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take it. I'm going to go over to the heat press. This is, I had my black shirt somewhere. Oh, here it is. Okay, this is my black shirt that I'm going to be using. Remember, I told you I love gilding. I have tried other shirts, but I always go back to my gilding, okay? So I'm going to use this, go over here, and we're going to press it. And I'm going to show you how we're going to do it. Now I'm going to do the possible, which is, the possible is right here. I'm not going to show you this one because I'm going to do it the same exact way using these Crystal AB rhinestones. But we're going to go over here and we're going to press it. Okay, so what I'm going to do, this is my shirt again. Just going to take it and place it, on my heat press. Alright, remember I told you you can use your measuring tape if you like to make sure everything is even. Make sure you have some, I forget what it's called. Lint. Make sure you have a lint roller. And, I'm trying to take this off so I can get a clean piece, y'all. But make sure you lint roll your shirt very well. That is just to remove any lint or anything that may be on your shirt off. Especially in the area where you're going to be putting your design. Alright everyone, so what I'm going to be going ahead and doing is putting the puff vinyl on here. Well, I'm going to put the width first. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to go down 4 fingers from the neckline, about right here. And this is where I'm going to put, width, probably about right here. Alright, about right in this area here. Okay. So I'm going to come in the front, make sure everything looks good. Alright, so I'm going to be pressing my puff vinyl at 275 for 10 seconds. So let's go ahead and do this. I have it, the pressure is kind of firm. So I'm going to go ahead and press it down now. 3, 2, 1. All right. It's kind of hard to lift up. Okay. So when you do it like that, y'all, you have to get some muscles to get it up, because that when you adjust your pressure on your heat press, sometimes it's really hard to come up. But let's see how it did. Let me see. Did it puff, y'all? Let me see. Yeah, it did. Okay. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my Teflon sheet and I'm going to put my Teflon sheet over my puff because I don't want any more heat to get to the puff. So I'm just going to take that and cover it up. Okay, just like this. So now what I'm going to do, now this is the way I do it when I covered that puff up. Hopefully that will keep it from getting a lot of more heat to it. Okay, so before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and take my rhinestone template, which is God, and put it on here. Now, the way I want mine, I like mine to be stacked. And when I say stacked, I want it to be like the H is sitting on top of the G. Or the, you know, the top up here on the G. So I'm going to show you what I'm talking about once I finish. So let me go ahead and put this on here where I want it. Well, I want the, I said the H on top of the G. Actually, I want to put the T inside of the G. Okay, I want to make it look like the T is coming through the G at the top part of the G, if that makes sense. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my Teflon sheet and I'm going to put it at the top part of the width because I do not want any more heat, any more heat to get to my, to the puff. Okay, we're going to see how that's going to work. So I'm going to check my rhinestone template, make sure everything is looking good on it. See if I need to move anything. It's looking pretty good. So I'm going to increase my temperature to, I'm going to increase my temperature to 400. And I probably should have waited to put my puff on. That was, you know, something I did. I probably could have waited to put that on. So that's totally up to you. If you want to wait to put your puff on, I would recommend that because I didn't. But we're going to see how it works, okay? So I'm going to let this get up to 400 for 60 seconds, and then we're going to do the rhinestone. And now I'm going to go ahead and press God. Remember, I have my Teflon sheet here just to cover up the puff width. And this is actually my first time doing puff with rhinestone. And I thought about it. I said I should have did the rhinestones first, then came back and did the puff. So when you do yours or whatever you decide to do, put the rhinestones down first, then come back and do the puff. That's what I recommend so that, you know, everything should be good, okay? But it's going to be good with this. It's going to be good this way also. So let's go ahead and press God down. I could have loosened up my pressure a little bit, but I do that when I finish it. All right, so I have to put work in to bring that up. So let's see. All right, so the puff is still looking good. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and take off this part here. Ooh. It's hot, y'all, so make sure you have your heat gloves on, okay? And make sure you watch as you're peeling off your rhinestone, this mask, because you don't want to, you want to make sure all of the, you want to make sure all of the rhinestones are down, okay? So you see how that looks so far? It says with God. So let me go ahead and put the others on. All right, everyone. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and press down the the rhinestone that I have, as you see right here. Then I'm going to press down my my All Things Are puff vinyl, okay? So I'm going to do it the way, you know, a different way. Instead of putting the puff down and then the rhinestone, I'm going to do the rhinestone and then the puff. Probably what I should have did here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cover up the width and the guide. And we're going to press possible. All right, I have it on 400 for 60 seconds. So let's go ahead and press it. Alrighty, so we're going to open up the heat press. We're going to remove the Teflon sheet. And I know y'all seen the smoke that came off of the heat press, so that it means it's very hot. So we're going to take the mask off. Remember, be careful because it's hot, and plus you want to make sure that you do not remove any of your rhinestone. Because if any rhinestone lifts up on the mask, then you just put it back down and repress it. All right, y'all. Look at that. You see how that's looking? Super cute. All right, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my temperature back down. Remember, I have my little shirt here, and I made this shirt some months ago, a while ago, and I recommend this. So I did the red one, and I have it set at 275 for 10 seconds. So we're going to go ahead and put the temperature back down to 275, and we're going to press the puff for 10 seconds. So now what I'm going to do, I am going to go ahead and press my other puff vinyl. I have the All Things Are. This is the last one. Remember, I went ahead and did the rhinestone right here. So now I'm going to go ahead and press this. Remember, I have my puff at 275 for 10 seconds. And I am going to go ahead and adjust my pressure. Because the pressure is very important at how your puff do. So I'm going to go ahead and press it. I have this Teflon sheet again over the first puff that I did because I don't want it to get any extra heat. Try to keep as much heat off of it as possible. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to press this one here. Try to make sure everything is straight and everything looks the way that I want it. All right, so let's go ahead and press it. Okay, I think I had the pressure too firm because I had to literally just hold it there myself. But let's look at it and see. It looked like it puffed up. So we're going to look. I'm going to peel it off. And yes, it did. It puffed up. Looks really good. I like it. And I'm going to bring you in so that you can see it. Let me go ahead and turn off my heat press. I want you to get a good close look at this gorgeousness right here. This is absolutely beautiful. So like I always tell you, think outside the box. Do something different. So what I decided to do, I decided to use the puff vinyl with rhinestones. So as you see, I did the puff with the red. Then I came in with that crystal AB rhinestones. Then I did that All Things Are in puff red. Then I came back in with that the crystal rhinestones here at Possible. So this is the design that I thought of, and I designed it in Silhouette Studio Business Edition. All right, y'all. Look at that bling. That bling is blinging. It's looking gorgeous. Look at it. Beautiful. I am going to be wearing this shirt. All right, so I hope that you all like this video. Let me go ahead and try this shirt on and let y'all see how it looks. All right, y'all. So let me step back a little bit so that you can see. I'm going to come up a little bit, but you see how it looks? I absolutely love this. This red with this crystal AB, this puff vinyl with this rhinestones. Look at this, y'all. This is absolutely gorgeous. Like I said, think outside the box sometime. Come up with your own little style so that you can be, you know, different. So this is the one that I decided to come up with. And as you see, I have my little jogging pants on, my little blue and red jogging pants. So this is super cute. Yeah, super gorgeous. I love this. Look at this. And this design will be in my Etsy shop. Like I said, I'll probably upload it either Monday, which is tomorrow, or Tuesday. But when you get this design, you can do your design any way that you want to do it. You do not have to do it like me. You don't have to do it like nobody else. Think of how you want to do it, what vinyl you want to add, because the width and the all things are vinyl. They're not rhinestones. They're going to be vinyl, and I showed you how to group it in order to print this out on your Cricut machine or Silhouette, whatever cutting machine that you have. And the God and the possible are rhinestones. So you can use any color rhinestones that you want. I decided to use the Crystal AB. I was going to use another color, but I did not have enough rhinestones. So always make sure you have enough rhinestones. But this here is absolutely gorgeous. I love it. You can do whatever you want to do. But look at this, y'all. Look at this. Super cute. So now with the width, as you see, it's a different font than what the all things are. It's a different font. So the fonts are different, but it's super cute. Super cute. I love it. So y'all know I'm going to be wearing this, right? Yes. Love it. So I hope that you all have enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, don't forget to comment, and make sure you subscribe to my channel. I would love to have you a part of the Iesha Designed It family, where we learn and we grow together. Okay, so I have some more videos that will be coming up. Constantly thinking of things. I'm constantly writing down things, because like I told you, that this is the year where I'm going to be more consistent with my videos. Going to be more consistent in a lot of things I decided to do this year, because this is the year that we all going to be great, right? So thank you all so much for watching. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I will see y'all in my next video. Have a great Sunday. Peace.